And moving on to chapter 4, no drama, connection, and action. It talks about, again, taking a pause when we need to and trying to decide like the best course of action based on our own parenting style, the situation, and the child's temperament, because every child is different and responds differently. So, and then connection principles. He talks about a couple of connection principles. Turn down the sharp music, which I thought was interesting. And what that is jumping to the conclusion based on like a past experience or denial of a certain situation. And then chase the why. And he said, and this is kind of more the part where he talks about Sherlock Holmes, that all behavior is purposeful. And so instead of reacting, and he said curiosity could be like a cornerstone, of parenting, or should be a cornerstone of parenting, and trying to figure out where your child is coming from and where the behavior is based.
And I always talk to parents who are asking me about a behavior or a specific behavior, and even teachers that they can't figure something out or why a child is doing something. And I've always said from the get-go, the behavior, really good or bad, but we focus in on the negative, really stems from there being a void. And it's our job as parents to figure out what that void is and how to fill that void. But any behavior it can be kind of linked back or traced back to some void, something that they're missing. And to have that connection strong enough to be able to figure out what the void is with your child and then how to fill it. And unfortunately, all children are different, and everybody, humans are different, so it will be different with each child. But just making that connection that something's missing is important.
Thank you. And then in addition to the why, it talks about the how, and that our tone can be very important. Like it communicates a lot, whether we have maybe a little bit of a rough, angry tone, or like try to be playful. And then he talked about that sometimes just a simple touch, like a pat on the back, can kind of bring down maybe some defensiveness in the child. So, where you can have more of like a conversation versus, an argument.
And going back to the halt, they might feel lonely at that time. And so just a hug or, like you said, a pat on the back would kind of fill that void and then let them regulate a little better and get to a conversation place, a place of discussion rather than reaction.
Then as far as communication pieces for parents, he was talking about how communicate, comfort, and just he said it 3 times in the book, validate, validate, validate. So even if and I sometimes talk to students about this too, if you disagree with someone, 2 people can have different opinions, but it's great to listen to that person's opinion and kind of reflect, what they're saying, and let them know that you're hearing them, and then that way they'll want to listen, to your opinion more.
So. I think as a busy adult and a busy counselor, maybe that's the easiest to skip over, and it's the most important. Or he wouldn't have said it 3 times, but I need a reminder that just says validate, validate, validate in my office sometimes, because I can get in such a hurry. And I might say, well, I understand what you're saying, but then I have to, I go on with my but or whatever. So I need to work on that daily myself.
Chapter 5 is 1, 2, 3 discipline, redirecting for today and for tomorrow. And it goes back to what Ms. Miller was saying earlier. His definition of discipline is, remember, discipline is to teach. It's not, it does focus on making sure that children learn and they're given consequences, for their actions sometimes, not spoiling them, but making sure that they learn from an experience is important. And so that the next experience that they have, they might know a new school, either a new skill or a new approach to take to a life problem. And then 2 principles: wait until your child is ready. It doesn't always have to be immediate. So as a parent, if you need to like take a break, then it's good, I think, that we sometimes take breaks and kind of think about, you know, what's the best approach to this problem that you're seeing. And he talked about consistency being important, but not rigid. Like, try to be, as parents, flexible at the same time.